Let's get it.
Hey, it's Bryan with DD214. Please like, subscribe, and hit the little bell for notifications. Hey, listen up. We've sort of got a different type of thing going on here tonight. I'm asking a question as to what the hell's going on. I'm not sure if you guys have been following the news, but we need to figure some things out. And I've got Robert on here. We're going to talk about it. But before I bring him on, I want to do a little housekeeping real quick, and then we're going to talk about this. We got some serious stuff going on in this country, and we need to get a damn grip on it. All right. So before we get started, we want to thank our veterans and first responders for all they do and all they continue to do for this country. We would not be the country we are without them. Gas prices. Gas prices are down this week to an average of $3.71.3. That's down another 4 cents a gallon from last week. I purchased diesel yesterday for $3.28. News. All right, we're here. It's the last time you got to hear about this, guys. This starts on Sunday. Brake Safety Week will take place for a week. And it'll be the 24th through the 30th. They're going to be pulling, if you get pulled over, they're going to be pulling you in and checking your brakes. They're going to be up under your stuff, okay? So if you haven't done it by now, I highly recommend you do. Broker warning, pay heed, broker warning. R&R Express Logistics, Inc. out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I don't know if they've went under or they're going under, but we had to file on them because they are into us for about $8,000. Okay. So broker warning, there's your MC, USDOT. Don't work with them because you aren't getting paid. Well, you might after a while, but we're 90 days on some of these things and we're being charged back for them. So don't do it. All right. Picture of the week. We have a new driver on board this week. This is Dominic. This is Dominic's first load. You can see I was on site with him, helping him out a little bit, making sure we had everything secured. There was 3 generators headed out to Florida. We have Jan. Jan's back. That's a load from him. I have no idea what they are, but that's what he's got. Load of pipe with Richard. That was him going home. He's home now, resting up. Almost home, resting up. Jerry was a new driver last week. Look at this menagerie he's toting around. He was yanking that out to, I think Alabama. He was sending that down to. All right, the crazy shit you see out there, guys. I took this picture on 77, sitting in traffic, and I looked at this load 3 or 4 times before I decided to take a picture. Guys, this load is totally not secured properly. You have Straps running over bare metal with no protection. That's one issue right there. That'll cut those straps in two. Number two, up near the top, you have metal laying on metal that's not being touched by anything. It's not as if it was stacked properly. It's just laying there. And there's no rhyme nor reason as to um, how it was stacked. So, you see stuff like this going down the road, you just shake your head. That stuff comes off there, it'll kill somebody. Okay. And this guy's just going down the road with it, just lottie dottie. Several, I don't know how many thousands of pounds, but there's a lot of weight on that trailer. All right. What's going on? WTF, over. We used to say that on the radio in the Marine Corps. But what's going on? There's some things going on that I don't understand, and I don't understand why it's happening. I'm going to talk about a couple of them tonight, but we have to get, as a country, we have to get a handle on this shit. This stuff is absolutely crazy. The first situation I want to talk about this evening is Trooper Ricks out of South Carolina was returning to his patrol car. A pickup truck made a sudden lane change and collided with a Kenworth combination truck and trailer. The incident escalated into a multi-car accident. Reports indicated a 3-car crash initially, and then multiple sources state Ricks was hit by a box truck during the incident. The driver of the truck, Anthony Adele, 45, was charged with driving under a suspended license. Additional charges are pending.
Family, friends, and fellow state troopers will gather to honor the life of South Carolina Highway Patrolman Dennis Ricks. Trooper Ricks died a week ago after being hit by a box truck during a traffic stop on I-26. The ceremony is taking place at Shandon Baptist Church in Columbia. The funeral starts at 11 a.m. The governor ordered flags at state buildings to be flown at half-staff today to honor the service and sacrifice of Trooper Ricks.
Now, I don't understand what the hell is going on. How is a box truck driver driving down the road on a suspended license? How does it work? People, remember, even though this was part of a crash, this driver may have not have started the crash, but because he was the one that killed the trooper, he's going to be charged. I guarantee it. And we have to remember that reports indicate that South Carolina Highway Patrol Trooper Ricks was survived by his wife, Jada, with whom he shared 7 years and was married for 3. He was also survived by his mother, his grandparents, his parent-in-law, his brother-in-law, sister-in-law, and niece. So the consequences of the actions of this one driver, this guy who was in the box truck, those consequences, he was on the road and shouldn't have been there. If he hadn't have been there, most likely this trooper wouldn't have died. My guess, he's going to get nailed with vehicular homicide. And if he doesn't, he should. He should be put in jail. We've had enough. Okay? Enough of the lawlessness. Enough of the garbage in this country. This, I can do whatever I want, even if it kills other people. This came out from the, it's the Police Association. I'm not sure what it's called, but it says in the last 4 days has been horrific for law enforcement across America. 12 officers have been shot and one died. That was the gentleman down in Atlanta that died. We cannot allow this war on cops to be normalized in this country. When 12 officers who swore to protect their communities are shot in a 96-hour period, there should be a national uproar. Well, I, for one, an uproar. Okay? I normally don't get into this kind of stuff, but enough is enough. Enough of this shit is enough. And this is just not a war on police. This is a war on society. There is an ongoing war on our society as we know it. Now look at this piece of shit. This guy, you can't even say his name. Whatever his name is, according to the news reports. Let me go back before I get into this, okay? Let me go back real quick and put this on.
Learning new details tonight about that truck driver accused in last week's deadly crash over on the Turnpike in Fort Pierce.
Yes, right. And for the first time, video from inside the cab shows the exact moment of impact. Yeah,
CBS 12's Katie Benty is joining us tonight live with how this case has sparked a national debate over immigration and trucking safety.
Well, Jim, Luli, this is really about more than just one bad U-turn. The truck driver accused of causing it is undocumented, licensed in California under a controversial law. And now new video taken inside his cab shows the very moment that everything went horribly, horribly wrong. Video circulating online shows the shocking view from inside a semi as a minivan slams into the trailer and wedges underneath. Troopers say that driver, 28-year-old Harjinder Singh, had just made an illegal U-turn cutting across the Florida Turnpike in Fort Pierce last Tuesday. The move left his big rig blocking all northbound lanes. The minivan had no time to brake. All three people inside from Broward and Miami-Dade counties were killed. Singh is now charged with 3 counts of vehicular homicide. He's being held in the St. Lucie County Jail with an ICE detainer, meaning he'll be deported after his criminal case. Federal records show Singh entered the U.S. illegally through the southern border in 2018. Records also show he got his commercial license in California. Under a law called AB 60, passed in 2013, undocumented immigrants can apply for driver's license, even commercial ones. The state argues it's safer to have everyone licensed, tested, and insured. Florida's highway safety director called Singh's actions, quote, shocking and criminal. And longtime trucker Grant Maxey says industry standards need a closer look.
It's been a big problem in the last 5 to 8 years with it. It really is. There's a lot more people that are holding CDLs that cannot speak or read English.
The Department of Homeland Security told CBS 12 News it filed the detainer to keep Singh in custody, blaming California's leadership and licensing policy for putting him behind the wheel in the first place. Now here in Florida, semis are banned from using those official use only turnarounds. Troopers say Singh did it anyway, and that decision cost 3 lives.
What the hell? What the hell? This is some more stuff I researched and got on this, and I want to read it to you real quick so you understand the outrage. According to news reports, Singh, the truck driver who made an illegal U-turn on the Florida Turnpike, resulting in the death of 3 people, was arrested on 3 counts of vehicular homicide. He is currently being held in the St. Lucie County Jail and has an ICE detainer, meaning he will be deported after his criminal case concludes. This implies he is not out on bail for vehicular homicide charges. It is noteworthy that Singh had been previously released on a $5,000 immigration bond in January 2019 after claiming fear of returning to India while his immigration proceedings were pending. This earlier bond was related to immigration status and not the recent criminal charges. There's been a misnomer about that going around the internet. All right. According to the New York Post, Singh answered just 2 of 12 questions correctly when being tested for English language proficiency by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration after the April 12th crash. So after the Trump executive order come out, this particular company just ignored it and kept this guy on the road. Now, let's see. And when asked to read highway signs and their meaning, Singh could only identify 1 out of 4 signs showed him by the U.S. Department of Transportation announced Tuesday. In California, CDL tests are administered only in English, while Washington allows tests to be taken in English, Spanish, Russian, and Serbian. Okay, that's wrong right there. We will use every tool at our disposal to hold these states and bad actors accountable. President Trump and I will restore safety to our roads, Duffy said. Now, so this Singh guy was nearly deported in 2018 after detained crossing the border, but was released on a $5,000 bond in January 19, telling U.S. citizens and immigration service that he feared returning to India. Police sources previously told the Post. Okay. He's been in the immigration proceeding system ever since. This is bullshit. They need to get him out of there. This is a loophole that's absolutely being exploited. And then you get these sanctuary cities and states that are issuing driver's license, and then they have reciprocity through the rest of the country. What the hell? The company that owns the truck that this guy was driving was called White Hawk Carriers out of California. They have now shut down. Okay? They're gone. But it's too late for these poor 3 people. These 3 people that got killed. And there's something sketchy about all this, guys. Now, this is a little hard for me to read, but I'm going to put it in here. Okay? Following the federal crash on the Florida Turnpike, White Hawk Carriers, Inc., based in California, appears to have effectively ceased interstate operations as of Tuesday, August 19, 2025. According to federal records, their insurance was canceled, rendering them unauthorized. I don't think unauthorized hurts their feelings in any way, shape, or form. But they're unauthorized to operate a motor carrier outside of California. Google now lists White Hawk as permanently closed. The primary catalyst for this appears to be the scrutiny and investigation surrounding the August 12th crash involving one of their drivers who made the illegal U-turn. That's what we're talking about. Further investigation into White Hawk Carriers revealed a troubling history of safety violations, including the company had 25 truck safety violations in the past 24 inspections. Unlicensed drivers, 2 White Hawk drivers were caught operating on suspended license in 2024. And then, the driver involved in the fatal crash failed his English proficiency test, wasn't taken off the road. Yeah. Guys, this is absolute horseshit. This is garbage. There's more than one bad actor involved here. I'm going to tell you what, the state of California needs to be held responsible. The state of Washington needs to be held responsible. Anybody who helped this guy get his first driver's license, because you know he can't read English, but he seemed to have read English to get his CDL. Those people need to be held responsible. That trucking company needs to be held responsible. There's 3 people lost their lives over this bullshit, and this bullshit's got to stop. Absolutely got to stop. My last little tidbit here is this. I get a message from an Alvin Dean. It says, I'm looking into opening an LLC and becoming a hotshot driver. I have looked at insurance, but all I can find here in Texas is Progressive. Well, they're the only ones that's going to cover you. They're the only ones that's going to cover you as a new startup. They want around $30K a year if I paid up front, or $37,000 a year with a down payment of $8,000 and $3,000 a month. Does that sound right? I'm 43 with no tickets or wrecks within the past 10 years. Look forward to hearing from you. Air Force 99 to 209. All right, guys. Look, if you think all this stuff that's going on, not only with police being shot at, the illegal aliens getting driver's license, and all this other stuff that's going on around the world, when the Houthi rebels fire rockets at commercial ships, it affects everything. Your insurance is going up. So I'm going to bring Robert on for a minute, and I'll cool down, and I'm going to let you talk for a minute, Robert. Hang on a second. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Bryan.
What you thinking?
Well, it's all extremely disheartening. I think that the current administration in the White House is taking steps in the right direction to
I
help
would agree.
alleviate these concerns. But the immigration issue that's occurred over the past decades, this is the type of activity that you see when you have people that don't follow the rules and they infiltrate the system, and they're trying to profit illegally off of what we're trying to do legally, and it makes it extremely difficult.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I agree with you. And I think what you just said is exactly right. They have totally infiltrated the trucking. And this guy didn't get a driver's license in California because, I'm just good enough to read the paperwork and do it. That didn't happen like that.
Right. There was some underground system that he utilized in order for him to be sitting in that seat and driving that truck. And both of these instances where the officer was killed and these people were killed under the in the minivan, it's just tragic. It's instances where things did not need to happen.
I'm sorry, Robert. We lost you. All right, so what he said was exactly right, and that's the fact that something has been infiltrated. You have a state. Let's just. I'm going to pick on California for today. You got California, sanctuary state, known. They're allowing illegals to come in there. Then they're allowing them, once they're in there and they're set up, you have to realize that once they're in there and they're set up, they're able to manipulate the system, figure it out and manipulate it. And now you have a trucking company out there that there's probably 110% chance they helped this guy cheat on the test or had somebody take the test for him to get him in that truck. Look, if you can't answer 2 of 12 questions and you can't read one road sign, you didn't pass the test. You didn't pass the test. So there's some illegal stuff, and it's all being caused by these people being allowed to come into the country illegally. That's just it, and set up house. Sanctuary cities got to go. If you come in this country illegal, you got to go. There are ports of entry. I'm sure this is not going to be the greatest information coming out of my mouth to certain ears, but I don't give a shit. I don't care. You have got to go. If you come here illegally, if you cross that border illegally, or you overstayed your visa, you need to go and come back in the right way. Period. There's no sense in all this. The sanctuary cities, whoever they are within the sanctuary states, you guys are contributing factors to the murders of people. You're no better than the people. You're no better. The state that gave this man a driver's license is no better than the man that killed the 3 people. Okay? That's where I'm at. I really don't even know that I need to take any questions on this. I've just ranted. But I lost my boy Robert. He's gone. So I can't even banter back and forth with him. So this is where we are in this country. You know, you see something, you say something. That's all I can say about it. Comments? A lot? Oh, Lord. Tell it. What do we got? Hang on one second. Let me say hi to everybody before we go talking about it. All right. I'm allowed to say something now. So, hey. Hey, Richard. How you doing, buddy? Let's see. We got Miss Mila in the house. Michael, Anthony. So Truckin' Ugly's back. Jay, good to see you. Jason. Vic, how are you? Let's see. That's about all we got here. We got a bunch of people in the house today. But and again, I normally don't get into this kind of stuff, but when you see this kind of disrespect for the law and what's going on, I just believe that we have to say something. It's not good enough to just sit back and try to ignore the actual, actually what's going on. I'll take my little voice. It's not much of a voice, but what little voice I've got, I'm telling now that we got to do something, guys. I'm not talking about an armed upheaval, but we got to get on people to make some changes because this isn't working at all. And we've allowed ourselves to be infiltrated by foreigners who aren't supposed to be here. They've set up camp. They're not only stealing money from us, they're taking money from us. If they can't take it one way, then they try to defraud us and they'll take it the other way. So it's time to go. Say goodnight. I didn't see any comments over there. Who you got? Michael? There's also a Cuban driver in Austin who just killed 5 a few weeks ago. See what I'm saying? Was he illegal, Michael? If he's here legally, it's a different animal. That's just dumb. But not everybody of foreign heritage is necessarily here illegally. If he's here illegally, it's a whole different animal than if he's here legally and made a mistake. If you're here illegally, you're illegal from the time you crossed. If you came in legally and you overstayed your visa, still makes you illegal. You're not supposed to be here. So thank you for the I'd like to know though if he was here illegally. Hey Vic, I see those guys washing their feet in the sink in every truck stop. I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. We got to get to the point to where that's not happening. And again, if they're here legally under a work visa, that's much different than doing this stuff illegally with a criminal enterprise. Here's the other thing. This whole California situation seems to be like a criminal enterprise. This guy didn't get his driver's license and a CDL. He didn't get that on his own. Doesn't seem like it. He couldn't speak enough to answer the road sign question. So, yeah. Yeah. You've been through listen, my wife's from Moldova. Mila's from Moldova. She's an American citizen. She come in legally. She got her American citizenship, and there she is. But that's it. So when you do things the right way, there are benefits. When you do things the wrong way, there are consequences. And the problem is these, I'm going to call them uber liberals in these, because you have to be an uber liberal to be to run a sanctuary city, to say, hey, we don't need borders. Everybody's just come in as they wish and do what you wish. No, that's not going to work. Okay. So trucking ugly. I hope they all go after the trucking company. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Those trucking company owners right there for that particular company are responsible and should be held accountable. They had that guy in the truck. And look, there's no sense in it. But they are responsible. So hopefully they'll hold them legally responsible. I went to a CDL open house school in Florida a couple months ago, and they subleased their facility on weekends to a school that trained and tested Russian drivers. Okay, are the Russian drivers here legally? This is what we have to know, Michael. If they're not here legally, then that particular school is violating the law. They are they're the problem, not the cure. Okay. I know a lot of Russian people, a lot of them, and they're here legally, and that's fine. Nobody cares if you're here legally. But if you're here illegally, if you have crossed that border illegally, you should not be allowed asylum. You should not be allowed to ask for asylum. Once you cross the border illegally, you should be deported immediately. Sorry. But we have ports of entry in this country, and we need to make sure everybody goes through. Otherwise, this is what we're going to get. Is that it? Nice. I don't know if we're done talking about it, but I've ran it on now for 34 minutes, and it just seems like I'm getting fired up. This has just absolutely worn me out this week. I cannot believe they've got a truck, or they had a truck driver on the road after everything. And when I say after everything, I mean, it came out that, hey, if you are not proficient in English, you have to get off the road. Okay. Simple. That comes from the President of the United States. It has been a rule for years, but then they tightened it and made an executive order out of it. It's not an old rule. I mean, it's not a new rule. But look, how are you supposed to read a road sign? How are you supposed to read a road map? How are you supposed to do anything if you can't read? How do you even pick up a shipment and know where you're going? I don't know. I don't know. But guys, if there's no more questions, no more comments, as bad as as bad as I hate coming on Wednesday and throwing a fit like this, but something's got to be done, and we're gonna have to be the ones to do it. If you guys see something, call the police. That's the best you can do. You got to get these people off the road. He's what? They were there when I was there, and I asked the company owner. They couldn't speak English. Hey, why get a CDL? How are you going to pass the CDL test if you can't speak English? And why would you even get a CDL if you can't speak English? Because you're not allowed to get on the road. And if you do get on the road, what are you going to do? First time you get pulled over, I hope to God they take them straight out of service. I don't know what else to tell them. But this is an organized situation. It's the organization of these criminal enterprises in this trucking industry may not come from the sanctuary cities, but that's where they're being allowed birth. That's where they're being allowed to sit and grow. California doesn't want diesel trucks in their state, but they give a CDL to an illegal alien that then has reciprocity to drive the entire country. Why are we being forced? Why and how are we being forced to suffer for what California wants to give out? My question is that if they're going to give a CDL to somebody, it should be in-state only. They should, if they're giving a driver's license to somebody who is here illegally, then it should be only good for the state, sanctuary state that they're giving it in. Make them stay there and deal with it. Why are they sending them out on the road? Once they get that driver's license, then they're able to go get a CDL? How is it working? It's a criminal enterprise. This is a criminal enterprise. We see it. We see all this fraud that's going on within the trucking industry. And how is it happening? Criminal enterprise. It's not just one person. When we got scammed out of $22,000 a year or so ago, it was one company here that opened up. They went over, opened up another company in another apartment community. This guy was a broker. This guy was set up as a carrier. The carrier would go get the load from a legitimate broker, hand it to the false broker. The false broker would resubmit it with a high amount of money. The load would be run and they would disappear. They would run as many of those as they could before bonding, before they got caught. They could run, 200 or 300 loads real quick. I mean, real quick. And then what happens? Gone. Just shut down 2 computers and they're gone. They've collected all that money and they're out. We got hit for 22 grand, wasn't it? On that horse shit. These are criminals who are allowed to set up in sanctuary cities and nobody's bothering them, so they sit there and do what they do. They scam, they lie, they cheat, they steal. And they kill people. No more of that is needed. I don't think we got Robert back, did we? He never did get back. So All right, what do we got? All right. You know, we have to make sure that if you see something out there that's squirrely, you say something. Enough's enough. Don't be afraid. Pick up it. These illegal drivers are driving the prices of freight down. These illegal drivers can't speak English. What do you got? Among Kishore. I think that's why the rates have been so low, because they're just getting it. Yeah, that's right. They don't care. They don't care. They're just grabbing it and going. You know, if you're used to making $100 a month, you come in here and make $1,000 a week, and you know you're swinging at the fences. So I got one here. Go to any truck stop, you're guaranteed to see a turban wearing person who doesn't speak English and is very rude. You are correct. You're absolutely correct. I've seen it. You know, it's one of those things where we're just going to have to start turning people in, guys. Turn them in. You see a load that's unsecure, turn it in. You see, you know, aggressive driving, turn it in. You see your of course you can't turn somebody in for wearing a turban because you really don't know if they speak English or not, and that's just not right. That's racist. That's profiling. But you know, it's one of these things where you know, we got to clean up our own industry, and I'm believing in my hearts of heart that that this is a criminal enterprise that's taken over the trucking industry out of these sanctuary cities, within these sanctuary states. You take the governor Gavin Newsom, you know, how he thinks that allowing people to cross the border into his state illegally and not doing anything about it, how that's going to play out on a federal stage. If he thinks he's going to get votes on that, I can't imagine. I just can't imagine. Again, I'm trying to stay away from the political end of it, but this killing of 3 people from this guy has, and the killing of the police officer with a guy with no driver's license, and it's affecting us all. It's going to affect all of our livelihood. The guy wanted Progressive wants $37,000 to insure a new Hotshot company in a year. He can't survive that. It's too much. So, you know, we just have to police our own industry. And if we're not doing it, then shame on us, is all I can tell you. Shame on us. Then we're no better, you know, than the sanctuary cities. We're giving them a place to sit. Okay. All right. I don't see any more questions. So we're going to call it a night. Protect your business, guys. Be part of the solution, not part of the problem. Don't turn a blind eye to this garbage, or we're going to have more and more people killed. And the next time it might be your family. Okay. You see a load going down the road that's improperly secured, call the police. Okay. You see an aggressive driver, call the police. You see people that are doing wrong, call the police. It's just, we've got to get out of here. You got a bunch of illegal aliens next door, call the police. Get them out. It's time to go. I don't want to be, it's not racist. It's not a bigot. You're here illegally. You're not in the country legally. And you want to know something else? Go to Turkey and try this shit. You want to try something? Go to Turkey and climb across their border and see what you get. They'll cut your head off. They will cut your head off. There's not going to be, you're not going to make it to the news. You're not going to get anything out of it. You're going to get your head cut off, and that'll be the end of it. Okay. All right. Love you guys for being here. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Love your family. It's all you got. But also love your business enough to protect it from the invading hordes of all over the country. Okay? All right. This is Bryan with DD214 Transport. Like, subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications. We are out of here. Enjoy the rest of your week, please. See ya.
Jeans and a 4x4, cruising down your front door. I'm a full six-pack and a whiskey neat, some dive bar right up the street. I'm a good old boy and a country star. No one else can go this far. Come on, babe, go with me, riding high, living free. Don't ask once and don't think twice, 'cause baby, I'm living the life. I'm a western swing on an old jukebox, a tailgate party in a parking lot. I'm rowdy, rough, big and grown. I get it done all on my own. I'm a good old boy and a country star. No one else can go this far. Come on, babe, and go with me, riding high, living free. Don't ask once and don't think twice, 'cause baby, I'm living the life. I'm a cowboy hat, a ripped up shirt, tractor pulling out in the dirt. Hot cup of coffee with a cigarette, pretty little thing sitting on